government accountable, Adeboye charges Nigerians. General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, RCCG, Pastor Enoch Adeboye has tasked Nigerians to demand accountability from elected representatives. This, he said, will go along in deepening democratic and participatory governance in Nigeria. Adeboye gave the charge last Sunday at the special prayer and thanksgiving for professors, lecturers, teachers, youth corps, students and their families at the RCCG headquarters, the Throne of Grace, Ibutimeta, Lagos. The event, tagged Rising Stars, attracted thousands of students, lecturers and academia for different parts of the country. He said Nigeria should be prepared to hold leaders to account, saying the issue of song praising corrupt leaders and giving them titles is actually establishing, amplifying and concretizing the deterioration of the state. In the community where I grew up, if anyone is found to be a thief, he or she will be excommunicated from the community. But today, people give excuses for corrupt leaders because he or she is from their tribe or culture. Adeboye, who spoke through the Assistant General Overseer, Administration and Personnel, Pastor Johnson Odeshola, said, I have not seen anywhere who has gone to jail and is still in politics and holding public offices. It will take goodwill and strong courage for Nigeria to move forward. God will help us, but we should learn from nations where the law and order has broken down. Adeboye said that Nigeria was expected to be a rising star but be divided by a lot of problems ranging from insecurity, nonchalant attitude towards accountability and corruption that have all continued to dwarf the status of the nation as a star in Africa and Committee of Nations. He described star as burning gas that needs a substance inside to become a rising star, adding that leaders in Nigeria would continue to be ordinary burning gas until they allow God to empower them from inside, without whom they can do nothing. They have been spending money on education, health, roads and light, but with nothing to show for it because the vacuum of the true and righteous God in them is not filled. God is the solution to our problems, and as long as leaders refuse to recognize this salient truth and give him position in their hearts, they would continue to chase shadows, have no answer to their confession that Nigeria's problems are so complicated that as they are solving one, other bigger ones are raising up their ugly heads to the extent that the later would even rubbish the problems they thought they have solved, he said. Adeboye further charged government to stop paying lip service to education but fund it robustly and equip higher institutions with every necessary aid to carry out research and begin to perform like similar institutions in developed nations. He said the government should show more commitment and pay more attention to uplifting our universities where we have the best brains, adding that given the proper environments and needed tools to function, they would bring innovations into many sectors and boost our image and economy. So guys, you've heard what Adeboye has said, advising Nigerians to hold all these our politicians accountable. Of course, people have been doing that right from time immemorial. We know the age of Adeboye now. We know what has been happening even while he was growing up, from one government to another. And up until now, nothing has happened. Nothing has been happening. We are just moving around circles. Of course, people have been holding the government accountable, but it's like the government is trying to suppress the people. We have the case of Showore. What is happening? Everybody is not saying anything. Mostly, most of them are at that level. They are not saying anything. Everybody is keeping quiet. So what is one going to be doing, apart from that? Is that not holding them accountable? The government doesn't want to be held accountable. And coming to say, oh, politicians, this people should stop paying lip service. Of course, people will want to say, oh, you have your man there, who is the second in command. What has he done? At least he's not he knows God. So what do we now have to say for him being there and nothing has been happening? So because from what they are saying that any country or any leader who does not really give a God a chance the country will not move forward. But the question is that those countries who do not even bring religious to limelight, they are doing better, they are doing well. That is to tell you that everything is not spiritual. You have your role to play. You have your own duty to perform. Everything is not spiritual, because at the end of the day, they will still be bringing everything back to God, or back to God. God has given us brain so that we'll be able to think right, so that we'll not be disturbing him at, little problem. We'll not be disturbing him, we'll not be coming to him. But most of these religious leaders too, they've been able to manipulate people, put fear in your heart. Things that you are supposed to do, they will turn everything to spiritual. The so-called countries is talking about, have you ever seen most of their pastors going to their government house or having any form of relationship or whatever? Because they don't even believe. If you want to serve your God, serve your God separately, in your own corner. No, don't bring it to government, because we have seen it. We are so religious in this country. We are so religious, all of us. Any little thing, this is just like what a Fashola made mention. Every little thing, things that you are supposed to do, you call God, and that's why things are not moving. Because God expects us to do a lot, but we tend to, spiritualize everything. You spiritualize it, and you expect God to do what he has to do. Once, after you must have done your own part, then God will come in. We know that there is God for as many that believe that there is God, but that doesn't mean that what you are supposed to do as a person, you just spiritualize everything. The countries that he's talking about, that they are doing wonders, do they really know God? Are we not more religious, on the surface? Are we not more religious than all those people? Do they even talk about a religion or anything? And things are moving on. Why? Because they are doing the right thing. They are doing the right thing. The way at which those people, the way they practice their Christianity, the way their leaders go about funding in their churches is different from the way we do it, even in our own country. Because of the lawlessness, the government cannot even look at what even the religious leaders are doing. And that is why you see that they are moving very well. The race at which our own religious leader, they have that free hand to do whatever they want to do, whatever, some things that, is beyond even human reasoning. Because government is not really coming in and checkmate them. But it cannot happen. It cannot happen in all those countries that is referring to, that they should emulate those in the developed countries. So if you have your person, at least the vice president is a Christian, he knows God, then what is now happening that things are not moving forward? If they are paying lip service to all of these things, then why is things not moving forward? Being having a vice president who is even a Christian. So we are all have our roles to play, and the more we always attach everything, attach God. People don't even have, a lot of people are even serving the God out of fear, because what they have been told, if you do this, this will happen. Things that you are supposed to do, you will not do them, because a lot of fear have been put in you. People have been talking, and they are holding the government or the politicians or leaders, as you may call them, responsible, but they continue and they keep suppressing the people. They keep suppressing them. They don't want them to say anything because of fear of intimidation. You are an elder. You cannot be challenged. You cannot be questioned. You are a religious leader. You cannot be questioned. Even the so-called religious leader, can it be said that even the followers or the congregation can even question a leader, a religious leader, even when he makes mistake? That is another question. It is not even only politicians. Can it be said that because anybody, even as far as you are a human being, you can make mistakes? Can they allow people to question them themselves as well, to hold them accountable? The answer is no, because as soon as you want to question them, pastor, this thing I don't think is in line. You are rebellious. The devil has entered you. This one is a child of the devil. He's not a child of God. He has backslided. This and this and that. The spirit of God is not in it. They will not even allow you to talk. That is the culture that we have been, we've been taught right from beginning. You don't, somebody is doing wrong thing, you don't want the person to talk. You don't want the person to challenge you. You don't want to be challenged. That is where we are having this problem at political level, and at a religious level. The same thing. Even at family level, nobody wants to be questioned. Who are you to question me? Who do you think you are? That is why people are not being given the opportunity to hold our leaders accountable because they will be suppressed at each given time. And the fear is already there. If you go to political space, fear. You come to the religious space, it is fear, 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 fear. They've instilled in people. And one or two people, person says, yeah, long story, sir, please practice what you preach. If we are to hold our politicians or political leaders accountable, we also hold our religious leaders accountable too. VP and Tinubu are politicians. Are they not pastors? Who ordained them? It is you, the same you. That's what this person is talking about. Papa, you are right. But the problem is that most of the pastors and religious leaders have instilled false beliefs in their followers that is witchcraft. That is not allowing to prosper, allowing Africa to prosper. My question is, does witchcraft work in Europe, US, China, and other countries? Why is it that religious leaders attribute the failure of Africans to witchcraft? Don't you think Africa would have been a better place if the right doctrine is given to the vulnerable Christian? So those are the questions. So guys, I would like to hear from you from what Adeboye has said, that Nigerians should hold government accountable. Leave your comments below and let's hear your own take. Thank you very much for always being there. Bye.